at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW and 106.1 KZCC Conroe and worldwide on the irlonestar.com.
Good afternoon, everybody. You are listening to the Cindy Cochran Show and also watching, yes, you are, on YouTube and Facebook, and you're listening to us on 106.1 and 104.5 in the Montgomery County area. I stopped saying Moco because I just found out what that word means in Spanish. So, and so many places are going to have to change their name once they find out. That's terrible. But anyway, this is exciting for me because I'm from Willis, and I am a Willisite. I don't know how you, Willisite? Yeah. Anyway, and I've been so excited about when the rumor that H.E.B was going to be building a new store in Willis, not outside of Willis, but in Willis, I couldn't believe it. I said, no, they don't. They really are. They really are. They're going to build it. And that was 4 years ago. And so I've been, waiting and walking around that property and, just waiting for the walls to be built up, not to fall down, but to be built up, because so excited. And everybody in Willis is going to be at the brand new H.E.B that's on the corner of 1097 and 45 going north and south. But I think that if you want to be at the grand opening, this is a good day to be here at the Cindy Cochran Show, because I got the GM of H.E.B, James Anderson, to be on my show. I got that, and I couldn't believe it. And people said, "No, you don't have the." Yes, I do. Yes, but they're opening. How could he have time to come be on the Cindy Cochran Show? And I said, because he just knew this was the place to be and to promote this new grand opening. And I told him that I did have Ryan Gosling booked, but we bounced him so that I could have him, because there's nothing sexier right now in this country than the guy who is the head of the grocery store where you live. Right? Right. I'm right. So anyway, welcome, James Anderson. We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, GM of H.E.B, there's so many initials right now that that's great. So you're going to be opening on the 2nd.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right? Okay.
That's right. Wednesday morning, 6 a.m., November 2nd.
Oh, y'all open 6 a.m.?
6 a.m., yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
I love that. That's even better for us. I didn't know you open that early. And you go 6 to what?
6 to 11. So 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, that's wonderful. I just can't tell you how much I use a grocery store and how many times a week that I'm in the grocery store. And because I kept thinking that the other guy was going to name an aisle after me, and they didn't do it. And I thought, as much as I've given you guys, you're not going to name an aisle after me. But anyway, you have the gas stations all, is that running now?
So it's not running yet, but the plan is by the end of the week, this week, we will have it up and running.
Okay,
so
boy.
we're right on the edge of having it ready to go. But a couple of more small things we're taking care of, probably by the end of today, that we'll have it ready to go for the weekend.
And you've got all those anchor stores. Well, you have 2 anchor stores, both pieces.
Yes, ma'am.
I love that. That's now Mod Pizza I know about. The other one is
Crust Pizza.
Crust Pizza.
Yep.
And I've never did that.
So I will tell you, it's one of my kids and my wife's favorite places to eat. We have one that we go to in Wood Forest. So they're kind of popping up around the area. But unfortunately, I'm catching a lot of comments about 2 pizza places, this and that. So we don't actually own the lease spaces that are out around us.
Right.
We have a property management company that is taking care of all that. And they're handling all of the leases and all that. But there's some really good things coming in. I think.
Oh, man.
McAllister's Deli's coming in. You got
Really?
the 2 pizza places.
McAllister's Deli. That's coming in?
Yep. That's one that's showing on the information that I
Okay.
have.
Oh.
I may have broke a secret, but that is showing
Spoiler
on the
alert,
things
spoiler alert.
Yep.
That's okay. That would be great. But I think that Sonic and Margarita's Pizza Shack, there's so many places. They're so happy that you're there because they know that their parking lots are going to be like, they're like, wait a minute, are you coming to eat here or are you going over to walking over to H.E.B? So it's going to be massive when that happens. And I'm looking at the construction around what they're building the streets, they're building a sidewalk. How long is that sidewalk that's out there?
So the one that runs, it runs pretty much down the access road.
To 830?
Not quite that far. So TxDOT is making some moves with that access road and what that looks like.
Yes,
unfortunately, I'm not privy to what all those details are, but the biggest thing was trying to finish up that exit ramp and those 3 lanes right there to get into the store.
Good grief, Amifi.
So.
I would have said bad words about you, but during the time in that traffic starts backing up because it's gone down to one little lane. But it's going to be, I saw the 2 entrances and it didn't have any, there wasn't any caution stay out or anything like that. And so I was going to go drive around in it to see what it's like driving the parking lot and go by. When you're building that, are there people coming by and looking through the window? And
so we've been in the process of getting the store ready for the last, it's going on 3 weeks now. And I can't tell you how many folks have come up to the front doors looking to try to get in.
Trying to get in?
Not a thing on the shelf, but they're walking into shop and they're looking for everything. But we're excited. We're excited about that just because it shows how anxious everyone in the town is ready to go for it.
And your reputation and H.E.B's reputation too. But you started 14 years ago.
Yes, ma'am.
In this business.
Oh, yeah.
And your mom got you into it, right?
Well, she was my final, I guess, to help me make my final decision. So,
okay.
My mom she spent 16 years in the grocery business as one of the leaders for Safeway Apple Tree in Waco.
Right.
And I remember running around as a little kid, poking my head in the cash office and seeing her count the money. And to this day, she can count money faster than anyone I've ever met. But when I was deciding to leave my undergraduate, when I finished up, I was looking for a career, my first big boy job, so they say.
Yes.
And H.E.B was one of the opportunities that I discussed. And, along with everything else, she stuck to the grocery business. She's telling me, if you look at it, it's pretty much recession proof. All the things with the economy. We don't. Fortunately, we don't see the effects as much because everybody's always got to eat, right?
That's exactly right. So, when you're looking at what you want to do in your life, you always say, what will sustain and what will be there always? And food is really a good thing to do. But then you probably didn't know that the supply line was going to be,
oh goodness,
cut off from us, and that was going to be hard to deal with. Oh. How has that been? Was that shocked you whenever you?
I will tell you, there's not a day that I can tell you in 15 years. There's not a day that I can say has been exactly the same as yesterday. And COVID turned the world upside down.
Oh right.
Including the grocery business and supply chain. And we lived in a world where, we were first in, first out. Warehouses were minimal product, and we saw the effects really fast. And so it's actually one of the reasons why it's taken us so long to get a store up in Willis. You mentioned we had one planned for about 4 years now.
Yeah.
And obviously COVID kind of put it on hold, so it was great. Because I was just like you. I was walking around that parking lot going, when are these walls going up?
You already knew where the property was. And that's what people kept pointing to. They kept pointing to that property over there. And I thought, that's not big enough, because all you could see was just like a little bit of the property, and going like, no, H.E.B. bill's bigger than that. And so when they said, that's it, and they start taking down trees and start mowing, I'm going like, this is really going to happen, and they're going to put it up right there on the corner, right? It's just right in the middle of everything. So there have been the most beautiful sunrises that I kept thinking, is their marketing guy needs to see this, because it just frames the H.E.B. They'll think you're crazy, Cindy. Don't call it in. Don't call in and tell
You know
them.
what? I would have to tell you that I have a few pictures on my phone that I've taken advantage of either the sunrises or the sunsets.
Yes.
And some of the bluest skies behind it. So
yes.
we've got some really good pictures that are
good.
that have been part of our marketing team. But
now the second you do it, speaking of the marketing team, sure. The second, here comes the grand opening, and that's going to be at 6 a.m. And can you talk about what's planned for that day, or is that
so?
I can
give you some small things.
Enough
going
teasers.
In. Yeah, a little bit of a teaser.
Okay.
So we do open up at 6 a.m. We've gotten partnered up with the school for sure.
Yes.
So we'll have some of the Willis spirit for sure.
Okay.
I'll tell you, we're going to run some hot ads. It's going to be a grand open type ad for us. So we're going to run some things that customers are going to be very excited to see.
That is great. And you're going to be you have a bunch of stands that, here, try this, try that.
Oh yeah, samples and giveaways. We've got them for sure.
I'm telling you, and you've got the best, because those people know how to give a sample. It's usually more, and they'll keep asking you, another one? You want another one? And you can go in there and have your lunch and then have dinner. No, I'm not kidding. Well, but you can take advantage of that part and not be totally hungry. You never should go grocery shopping when you're hungry.
Never go hungry. Absolutely.
And because I'm always hungry, so it doesn't make any difference. But when those little pop-ups come up and they start serving things, and the liquor is the funniest. I mean, she's saying, "Come on over here. You're going to need a drink. It's a long, you got to shop and all that, and you're going to be mad about. Just come over here and get a drink." And I thought the people that were coming up there, it was funny, because you could tell they just had it that day, and they just come from work and all that, and I'm gonna stop by and get a cocktail at H.E.B. or not, wherever they want to go. But I think that it's funny that you have got all the Willis people already involved. I saw your flyer. You've got a flyer with all the pictures of things that are going to be happening, and I think that's amazing. I know you guys are real community oriented. What did you find why that made such a difference it makes sense, but did it take a while? Did y'all figure out what you need to do most in the community? So
I'll tell you, I grew up in a small town just north of Waco, and so I kind of understand the small town feel, right? But the common theme with every single person that I've met in Willis so far is community. It's a very tight-knit community. Mm-hmm. Everyone is very proud of where they're at. Even the folks that have transplanted in and moved in have embraced the community aspect of it.
Yeah, we've told them we're going to have a come to Jesus meeting if you vote like you voted whenever you were in this other place that you came from.
Yep, absolutely.
Don't you bring your politics to us. No, I think that we feel very safe there, sure. and that's a great thing to do. And the state troopers are great, because absolutely. You don't mess with them, and you don't mess with the constables and the sheriffs. It's got to be safe for everybody to love each other the way they do. But it is community.
Yeah. Funny enough, when I came in, I was we were in retail we always have shoplifters and stuff that goes on. So my first question was, who do we call if something goes wrong? And all three folks stood up and said, us. And I was like, okay, Sheriff's Department, Willis PD, Constable, Precinct 1 Constable. But they all raised their hand, and really, it was one of those things that was pretty neat to see, because everybody does work hand in hand. They do. The community going.
And because Willis is so safe and not a lot goes on, so when something happens, everybody shows up. You're going to have fire trucks. You're going to have, the people from the Coast Guard coming. It's just amazing how many people are like, we got something to do. No, but that's what is fun about the sheriffs, and you get to know the people that are guarding your store, and that you have security in the store, and so that's always really good to me. And I always go by and say, "Excuse me, I just want to tell you something," and they go, "Yes, ma'am." They start getting their book out to. I said, "I just want to tell you, thank you for being here and keeping us safe." And he went, "Okay, thank you for thanking me." That's
absolutely
somebody's going to complain to him, but I think that you probably have had all the strangest questions come up to you when you've been in the Woodlands H.E.B, and that's where you served, what, 3 years?
The last 3 years before coming up to Willis.
I'm saying like it's in the military. You served 3 years. And so questions come to you from the customers. That's got to be like you could write a book, right?
I could probably write a book on all the things that I've seen and heard over the last 15 years. And I mean, I've been in a very diverse set of stores, just between what we call our Houston division, primarily all in Montgomery County, which has been great. But between Waco and Central Texas and some of the stores, I've got stories to tell, but some of the things with customers, good and bad. But I'll tell you, I try to keep the good ones at heart as much as I can.
Are you trying to wait for they die off so you can do the book?
You know what? I got to be able to sell the rights to somewhere, right? Whether it's families or them right off the bat.
But I was asking you about people coming up to you and saying, "You have got to try my apple pie. You could sell so many more than you're selling now. Let me give you some, a taste of my apple pie, and you'll want to buy it." How does that work when people come up to you and say?
So as much as I love food and love to try everything, I would tell you I'm the last person to be able to make that decision.
There you go.
But I also have the ability to send those to the right folks.
Right.
But we have some really cool things with H.E.B. We have what we call our Quest for Texas Best. It happens every year, and anyone who has a legitimate product or a business that they want to try to get into H.E.B, it gives them the opportunity to showcase what they have. And
you do?
Oh, yeah. And then it's selected from a panel of H.E.B partners and vendors alike. I think Bruce Bowen from the San Antonio Spurs was part of the panel last year. And so they pick them, and then we allow them to be on our shelves. I couldn't tell you the exact amount of number of products that we have that request for Texas Best, but we have quite a few of them, and a lot of them are pretty local as well. So
that is amazing. I didn't know that you had that opportunity, because usually what I've heard is they put them through such a process. It takes so long to get to anyone that's going to taste it or say yes or no, that a lot of times they'll give up even before they get to that. So if you have something where it's like a fair, like a job fair, and for these people to come in and test out their product, that's great. I love that. Now, you have put out this huge sign that applications are, we take applications, and it looked like 15 was on there. Yep. 15. We started 15 an hour. That's what got everybody's attention. 15 an hour. The kids were talking that I have with me, and they said, "Oh my, we gotta go over there." And it's probably all full now. They probably had more applications as they ever could work with. Is that how it's been?
So I will tell you, we fielded over 3,000 applications for this store.
Wow.
And fortunately, we were able to bring on 450 partners into our Willis H.E.B. So I'll tell you, 450 jobs into a community, new jobs into a community is always a good shot in the arm, right?
Oh, brother, yeah.
And out of those, I will tell you that 80% of our partners live in Willis or within probably 2 to 3 miles of Willis. Mm-hmm. And those were partners that were already partners for us in other stores that transferred home, it's like I say.
Yes.
But we hired roughly 60% of our staff is all new to H.E.B partners.
Now, you say partners. When I think you say partners, I mean that's somebody that's going to sit in the office with you. But are you talking about the boys that are going to stock the groceries?
So everyone in our store is referred to as a partner.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
It's been something that we've stood on for a very long time, since pretty much the beginning. Everyone's a partner. And in some cases, everyone's an owner as well of our company.
Really?
So that's pretty neat. That's something that we also offer out. But $15 an hour always definitely helps.
Yeah, it's a good starting.
It definitely sparks the application movement for sure.
Oh, right. No, I think that's wonderful. And I know one of the guys that's going to be managing, or I think he's managing the Mod Pizza thing, was talking about how many people they've had to are wanting to train because they want to make sure they have enough people.
Absolutely.
And you guys had no problem getting applicants and people coming in that wants to be a part of your deal, right?
Yeah, we've had plenty. We've had plenty of folks interested in it. I'll tell you, training has been difficult.
In what way?
So we kind of have to spread folks out between different stores, right? We want to establish them into a store that is already doing it very well. We hang our hat on customer service. We hang our hat on freshness and quality. So somebody who's outside of H.E.B. who hasn't lived that quite yet, their expectation definitely doesn't meet what our standards usually are. And so they're very surprised. They're going, oh, we have to do this? Like, yep, absolutely.
You mean I got to talk to those people too? I'm just going to sack the groceries now.
Yep.
Oh, man.
And so we've, luckily I have some great partners and leaders within the stores here in Conroe, or as far as up in Huntsville.
Yeah.
And down in the Woodlands. So we had folks kind of scattered out, learning from the best of the best, in order to bring that back up to Willis to make sure that we open up with the best.
They had to do in-service in some of these places, and then they come back to you a little more experienced.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Does that kind of call out the ones that you probably wouldn't have worked in H.E.B. in the first place after they go through that process?
There's always a few that come back and realize that the grocery business is not what they expected it to be, and they don't want to do it. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. I would love everybody to get an opportunity to see what it is.
Right.
They even give me a hard time. They go, "You went to college and you're running a grocery store?" I said, "Absolutely." And so,
but see, they don't say that anymore. Yeah. That's nobody says that anymore. If you're in the grocery business, you're in the right place.
Absolutely, it's
that you're
safe
in the right
for
place.
sure.
Yeah, they're going to come to you, your college grads. Can I have a job? I'll sack the groceries. I don't care. Just put me to work.
Absolutely.
So I think that's one thing that's gone away. Anyone that thinks that. And I think that the way you guys set your stores up now, are y'all going to have clothes in your store?
So the apparel that we are going to have is going to be very limited to the Willis ISD apparel. We're definitely going to shout out the Wildcats, but we're not going to have a whole lot of
shoes,
soft line and apparel. No.
Oh, okay.
We stick to the groceries and the housewares.
That's so great, because I know that I've been to grocery stores where they try and sell furniture and clothes and all that. And so people coming up to the counter to check out with the clothes and the roast beef and then the chair that they want to buy, and trying to hold on to that and drag that with them. It's interesting.
It's a lot.
Yeah. I think being diverse in that is just that you need to go somewhere else. But I think you've got, if you're doing groceries and then just keeping it to that, then that's good. And this is the Willis stuff.
Yep.
And pushing that.
Absolutely.
So you're going to be bleeding purple pretty soon, right?
So I'll tell you, I'm already there.
You are.
So I'm a Texas Tech Red Raider. So red and black is all there. So I was giving the school a hard time with all the purple, but just the short time that I've been a part of the community, getting engrossed in the schools and the area. Meeting county officials, meeting city officials. I'll tell you, I'm at the purple stage now. So
you are, okay.
I love it.
So
Absolutely.
now we don't have a mayor, we have a city manager.
No, we have a mayor and city manager. Mayor Reed.
Mayor Reed, okay.
And then we have city manager as well. But the county guys have definitely been around between Commissioner Walker and Constable Cash. But it's neat to see the work hand in hand in order to make things work. So.
Oh yeah. Now, have you already hired your security? That's going to be.
Yeah. So we've got security. So the company does a good job of lining us out and making sure that we're safe and stay safe. We're going to have the security that's needed based off of they do all sorts of studies and crime statistics and whatnot, and they get all that figured out for me. So thank goodness I don't have to try to figure out what that is.
That's wonderful. Yep. And you have managers in different departments, right? So you have the manager over the meats and over the produce and that kind of thing. And then y'all meet like every week, or you meet every day?
So that's an everyday. That's pretty much an everyday conversation. So I have myself is considered the top store leader. So I guess the buck stops with me.
That's right.
But I have 2 other leaders that work with me, and both of those gentlemen have a long-standing leadership role within H.E.B. And then we have our department managers that are over each individual department, and they're there as much as they're probably with their families. But the communication that we have is very two-way communication. We see each other daily. Over these last few months of getting the store ready to go, we've seen each other probably
so much
more hours than most of us would like.
And so now, are you well acquainted? Like if a manager didn't show up, you could go in there and take charge of that, or you have people. You have a stable of people that you call on to come in and work that, because you can't be over and into everybody's business, but you are probably right.
So I would tell you, I try to keep my thumb on about as much as I possibly can within the store. I was lucky enough when I started with the company, because I didn't work my way up. I was what we call an external hire out of college, and so they had to show me every single aspect of this business. So I learned how to decorate a cake. I learned how to cut meat. I learned how to build a floral arrangement. So all of those little things. So if you ask me if I'm confident in going in there and doing it, absolutely. Is it going to be the best cake? Probably not.
And even sacking, did you sack?
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, that's an art. And I have to sometimes you have to say, please don't put the frozen stuff with, like this, or if you do, because these kids are coming in, because they're just trying to keep people, working and all, and sometimes they don't get all the training that they need. But I wonder if they do you train sackers?
Absolutely. So we have what we call a bagging skills, and we teach them how to put things together, what to go, how to get or maximize what we can put in bags. I mean, everything costs money in the grocery business, even the bags that we put stuff in. So that's where we try to make our nickels and dimes is get as much as we can get in those things. And so,
well, that's what, sometimes you wonder, do you look at the age of the person coming down the line and go like, I'm not going to put as much in the bags as I usually do?
We do.
See, that's so sweet.
So we look at all factors. The diversity of the community we serve is unbelievable. We serve, young professionals, we serve elderly couples, we serve the disabled. And so you got to tailor the customer service experience to everybody that you serve. And so, I joke around and say a lot of it's just common sense in our business. And so,
right.
If it's something that you would want somebody to take care of you or take care of your family member, absolutely, do it the right way.
Well, do you have people that will go out and help,
Sure.
load and unload?
Load and unload. We go a little above and beyond. When it's raining, you'll be surprised at what we offer and can do.
You'll take them out with an umbrella?
Yeah, we've got umbrellas. We've got all kinds of good things. But, I'll tell you, one thing I'm very proud of is our customer service level. It's something that in the 15 years I've been working with the company, we've never lost sight of. As with anything, we do have our good days and our bad days, but that's one thing that I'll tell you is probably the most consistent thing that we like to hang our hat on.
That's so cool. Now, do you tell them don't accept a tip, or do you let people tip if they want to?
So they can. Our customers can provide tips to our partners. We definitely don't go out and ask for it. That's one of our rules. But if there is an exceptional service and the customer feels like they want a tip, they definitely can tip our partners and let them know that they did a great job.
Do you know that's really smart, because I had gone to a place and this kid helped me out and helped take the groceries out and all that. And so I was going to offer him some money. He said, we're not allowed to take tips. I went, you're not? Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't want to say, do you have to tell them? But I didn't say that. But I thought that was so sweet. But when somebody does wants to give you money, that makes them feel good too, and it doesn't make them feel as guilty because this kid had to do all this work and without anything. Yep. So I'm glad that you give them the option. Like if they tip you, great. If they don't, it's okay.
Yep. Our service level doesn't change either way.
Yeah.
The funniest is when folks try to tip me as the top leader. I'm like, I'm like, I promise you, this is exactly what I do. This is what I get paid for. This is what I get taken care of. I've had it many times.
That's so sweet. I can't, he's so thoughtful, and Shay is so good that she leaked out to him that I love the sweet onion chips. And if you've ever been to an H.E.B. and people have told you about go get the sweet onion chips, oh my word, it is amazing. And also the chicken salad is just unbelievable. So he walks in with this H.E.B. bag, and he had 2 bags of sweet onion chips. And I may have to share one with Richard, maybe, if he's sweet today. But I'm going to, I'm so excited about taking this home. My daughter loves the chicken salad.
Yep.
And what I used to do is I worked for the media department at a church, and I did all their media stuff. So I wanted to do something I thought would be smart. It's just like, I'm going to do a layout of food in the atrium when they come in on Sunday morning. Now they're coming in about 8 to 10, and I went and got your chicken salad, salsa, chips, cheeses, and things like that, and put them all out. And the people that said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm telling you, if you feed them, they will come." And so I had this all out, and they go, "They're not going to want salsa and chips in the morning." I said, "You wait. Just wait." And people started coming in, and they go, and they sit over there, and they eat that chicken stuff up so fast. And I go like, they go, "Where did you get this?" I said, H.E.B. And they have it all ready for me. They knew I was coming in, and I was going to have this, needed to have this much done. And it was a great partnership that we did. And the people just loved it. And they ate all that stuff that early in the morning. Some of them came in and went like, "Where's the donuts? You don't have any donuts?" And I said, "No, this is to get you through the hunger pangs and stuff like that." And
Keep
so,
you focused, huh?
Yeah, because the Baptists are going to beat you at the church anyways at the Luby, so I'm going to get you where you have something in your stomach. So anyway, we did that, and it was a great success. People just loved that, and It was great. I could send everybody to H.E.B. and and I never told y'all that I was helping
the
you
best
do
advertising, best marketing out there.
And guess where I got it from? Woodlands. I got it in the Woodlands, and that's where we fed everybody from. But anyway, I think that what you have done and how you have come through this, and you watch people, and you have your people that I guess you work with, that came up through the ranks.
Sure.
And tell us how, if somebody starts sacking, and we keep saying that like that's the lowest. That's not the lowest one. That's a very important part.
That's our entry position, absolutely.
Yes, and it's an important part, and the way they treat the customer, the way they sack those groceries, and the way they, make them feel as they leave is very important. And so I think that there was a sacker that was over at the 105. The 105 store. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Yep.
Okay. And I asked him, I said, "You are so good about the way you're putting these in, and it's so neat and all that." And he says, "Yes, ma'am, I am." I said, "Well, I guess H.E.B. is really, is really happy to have you here." And he said, "Oh yeah, they'll never let me go. No. And I'll be here for the rest of my life because this is a great place to work." And he started telling, it was so cute. He was just like, "Good grief, this kid is wonderful, and y'all should." He was so happy that I thought maybe something was wrong with it. He was so happy, and isn't that sad? But he was so and just so thankful that I thought he did a good job and all that. No, this is what it's about. You have employees like that, and that goes a long way. And they get comfortable and make you feel like family before you even get to the end of the line. So y'all are doing a good job of however you train them. And some of them probably have that personality anyway, and that's why you brought them in, right?
Oh yeah. So we go looking for those kind of things. I mean, obviously. So out of the 450 we hired for Willis, I will tell you, I was probably a part of 75% of their interviews at some point in time.
Really?
And it's because that's the things that we're looking for. We're looking for those partners that are going to be our long-term partners. That's the great thing about our company. And So I originally started in Central Texas, and we're a little bit, although we've been in Houston for a while, we're still the newcomer in Houston, which is crazy to think.
Yes.
But from my original stores in Central Texas, I had partners that have worked 50 plus years, which is crazy to think with one company. But we've had leaders grow within the company. I know there's one leader that we have in the Woodlands that started as a bagger 27 years ago, and he's now a GM of one of our biggest higher volume stores.
Oh,
the two
that's
gentlemen,
great.
the two store leaders that I have, one of them started out as a pharmacy tech, and he's grown up to be a store leader, and the other one was a produce clerk for us. That's where he started, and he's now running a store with us as well. So.
That says so much, because so many times, even stores, I go in the stores and they're arguing and complaining about working there while the customer is waiting to have their food checked, or their groceries checked. And I'm going like, are y'all crazy or what? So I went to you can tell where the managers are. They stand together and they're talking about things.
Oh,
and,
come on
that's
now.
the managers.
Come on now.
Yeah. No, this isn't bad. I'm just saying they're discussing, and the way they're pointing and the way they're dressed and stuff. These are managers.
Yep.
So I walked up and I said, are y'all the managers? They go, yes. I said, I just wanted to tell you something. You might, just that y'all's next meeting that you have, you might just suggest to the people that are checking you out that they don't complain about all the problems that they're having with the store and what they want. They'd change if they had the choice, or they're leaving as soon. They go, who was that? And I went, well, I'm not going to tell on them. I'm just telling you that you might suggest that, and they'll know who they are. Sure. And the customer complained. Say a customer complained about it was pretty awkward standing there while they gossiped about things. So, and that sounds just like my mother. I was just channeling my mother, because that's stuff she would do. She would go find the manager and tell all the people. But I didn't give them a name. But anyway, I think that if those people set the mood for everything, and even the person that hands you that pushes the basket out for you and say, you want this basket? And all that just causes all that as you walk into the door. And I know people think I obsess too much on shopping. They go, Cindy, I go in and get some milk and I leave. What are you doing talking so? How can you talk for an hour about groceries? But I think it's important, and I think that your mom and how your mom helped push you into that is just, it's hilarious to me, because that's exactly what I would probably do. And I think that you are a good example, because I was talking to your H.E.B. Rodriguez.
Oh yeah, she's amazing.
You are so lucky to have
Blessed,
her.
very much so.
And I mean, she was right on it. I just said, could he do this? And I know he's busy, and I know she says, oh no, we'll get right back to you. In fact, by the end of the day, I'll have something for you. And I went, okay. And she said, I'll call you and we'll get this set. I went, okay, all right. I'll be right by the phone. And I went and laid the phone down and went and took a nap. And she called me about 3 times during that nap, like trying to tell me like everything's okay, he's going to be there. And I was so excited, so I thank you for that time, because I know y'all are busy. But if you were to hire someone that comes from the outside that has never worked in an H.E.B, and you come in there, you send that person to another store, right? And let them,
in most cases, yep.
So that they'll work through that. And when they come back to you, if they have suggestions about what if we did this, and I saw them doing that, and do you have people that are that kind of person too?
Absolutely. Those are the partners that I love. So we have I'll tell you, as a leader, I hope that I'm as accessible to any partner, no matter what, within the store. And they can share. Sometimes they overshare, but they can share anything. They can share a concern. They can share what makes them happy. They can share ideas.
Right.
And we have them. I mean, folks come to us all the time with, hey, this would make our job a little bit better. This would be a little bit easier. Can we do this? And it's great, because we're able to implement a lot of that stuff in our day-to-day operations.
Well, what would be like a common complaint that you have? I know you don't have many or ever, but if anyone complained, what would be a common complaint that you'd have to
or a
figure
customer
out?
Standpoint?
Customer
standpoint. Oh gosh. So biggest complaint from customers is obviously if they didn't get the customer service they felt like they needed.
Okay.
And when we hang our hat on customer service, our customers know that, and they tend to expect the absolute best.
Right.
And when we don't meet that, sometimes we have to own it and say, hey, you know what? You're right. We didn't meet that. So I'd say probably the customer service is number one. You know, I just came out of the Woodlands store there in Market Street, and I'll tell you, parking was probably my biggest challenge.
Oh, yes.
Some of that was out of my control, but that was probably a complaint. And then as we're progressing into our e-commerce world and our curbside deliveries,
Right.
You know, it's tough to give our customers the space while we're still trying to shop for multiple customers at a time. So that's probably one of our bigger complaints that we're working on. And we actually have an opportunity to improve that a lot at our new store. We open up the largest square footage curbside in the company.
Wow.
So it's over 12,000 square feet for us just in our e-store curbside and delivery area.
And you still deliver?
That's correct.
Okay.
We have our own. You'll see our bright red vans driving around. We have a fleet opportunity that we have our own delivery drivers that are H.E.B partners that'll get your groceries to you in delivery.
They'll come in and put them in the pantry now?
You know, I don't know if they'll go as far as putting them in the pantry. I know in the past I've seen, you know, heck, as a store leader, I've had to deliver and put some things in pantries and refrigerators before.
You have?
Oh, yeah. When we say we go above and beyond, we sometimes have to
test
step above and beyond.
it. You know, and they'll never know if someone is testing them for that to see how good they do. No, but okay. So now the next best thing that you guys do, and it was brilliant. And I don't know who was your spokesman on TV for a long time.
That was Scott.
Yeah, Scott.
Yep. Scott's our H.E.B guy.
So smart to partner with the Astros.
Oh, yeah.
How great has that been for this last season?
So the Astros, the Texans, heck, we even our partnership with a gaming, an esports is what they call it. Guys that play video games, and they're professionals at those games. So partnering with those, it's always great. I love the benefits of getting to meet some of those folks. You know, as far as a few months ago, we had a meeting, and we got to meet Lance McCullers Jr., the pitcher for the Astros, which was, you know, we're all starstruck and amazed by it. You know, we give them a hard time and ask if we can meet, you know, when J.J. Watt was in our commercials. We're like, hey, when do we get to meet that?
Yeah.
Those are all cool things. You know, unfortunately, we haven't quite gotten to that level where we get to meet those guys, but
they should be out there shopping and do a commercial with them shopping. And
a
that
lot
kind
of them
thing.
do. That you see them, you know, our downtown stores. You see those guys shopping in and out of the stores quite a bit. You know, obviously, like any other celebrity, we're calming partners down, saying, "Hey, leave them alone. Let them shop. They're normal people too."
That's right.
But out here, we've had some celebrity sightings. You know, being in the Woodlands, I definitely saw quite a few.
Oh, sure. I'm sure they come over from the concert and go like, we got to get something to eat.
Oh, yeah.
But I think are you going to have any kind of, let me ask you this.
Sure.
Why don't y'all have fried chicken?
You know what? That's above my decision making.
Okay.
I'll tell you that we've had it for a while before. You know, I think with, you know, we're looking at all the costs and you know, consistency is always important
right.
for H.E.B. We want kind of like your chicken salad, right? You can buy a chicken salad at either one of our Conroe stores and it tastes exactly the same, right?
That's right.
Fried chicken is one of those things that's very difficult to get exactly the same. You know, one of our competitors that does it great is Brookshire Brothers. I don't know if you've ever had Brookshire Brothers fried chicken. It's pretty darn good.
No.
I don't want to send you to a competitor, but they do fried chicken really well.
Well,
but it's just the consistency and you know, cost and effectiveness for that.
But you don't have any in-store, like if somebody wanted to come in and order a sandwich or something like that, they could sit down and eat. That are you having that?
Oh, so we will not in this location.
Okay.
We are offering up. We're partnering up with our sushi team to do sushi and some opportunities there. We're going to surprise you with some things that we're offering out with that.
Okay.
But we do not have a sit-down restaurant or a sit-down area where you can grab and kind of sit and mingle and hang out. A lot of that was just due to space constrictions. We tried to get as much product and as much of the new cool things in there. We just kind of ran out of room for some of that space. I know a lot of folks have been asking me about True Texas Barbecue. We have those in a few stores. And everybody was excited because they thought we were getting one, and unfortunately I had to break that bad news that we weren't. So.
Oh, that's interesting, because I thought we'd probably have people already asking you about this and that. Yeah. But so are you saying the Altuve will not be at the opening?
Unfortunately, they're going to be in the middle of the World Series during our opening.
Oh,
so,
you don't think he'd fly in?
Game 4 is probably the night. Game 4, I'm hoping they're sweeping and they're flying in the next morning, but I think they're going to be a little too tired to meet our grand opening.
Oh, well, that's a shame. I just hoped. No, Friday's going to be a big day. Now, since y'all are going to be opening on
Wednesday. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and Wednesday you're opening. And let's see, how far will we be into the World Series at that point?
So Game 4, I believe, is that Tuesday night before, and let's hope that's the sweep game.
Oh,
if they sweep all 4, they'll be done by then. But we may have to compete with. We may see our business drop down a little bit in the evening time during the Astros game, but
you're not going to put a big screen up there, James.
I've got ways of making sure folks can see the Astros game if they're shopping. Absolutely.
And they're going, and in the bread aisle, we're doing this. Hold on. We just got to go home, run. So if you just announce that while we're shopping, that'd be great. It'd be fun.
Just figure out how to stream it over the radio.
Yeah.
The speakers. Absolutely.
Exactly. But I think that it's great that you guys are, you've got the H, and I don't know why. I've worked in television like so long, but I thought there was going to be a big Astro star behind that H. When y'all finished building it, I went, oh, that's so cool. I bet we get to be the first one that has the Astro star behind the H, but that's okay. It was just a special effect on TV.
Yep.
And that's fine. And the salsa commercial, salsa night commercial. That was so fun. That was funny.
Those guys ham it up pretty well.
How you get those guys to do some of the stuff they do, like parking the cars and the stuff. They got some great commercials, though. I love them. But Scott, it was Scott who did he started. Was he the one that brought the Astros in? Who partnered with the Astros?
So honestly, I'm not real sure. I'll tell you that, as we grew within the community, we want to be as involved in any of those as we can. I'm not real sure where those came from. I'll tell you, I chalk a lot up to our marketing team. They do a great job in being able to figure out who and where and, what markets to hit and who to go after. But honestly, I'm not real sure. But Scott was definitely the personality that you saw on TV, so having him in those commercials was always pretty entertaining as well.
Oh, he was really good because he made it down home, and it wasn't too glitzy and glammy, but he just talked to people. But some of the stuff that they got him into was amazing, and so I think that your marketing people are really good and on, spot on, and that you've got enough commercials running. But I haven't seen now. Are you running a lot of commercials on? Well, you don't have anything to do with that, though, right?
We don't have a whole lot to do. Like I said, the great thing is we've got a great relationship with the guys that actually do that. And so, our marketing team has been vital in helping me open this one up as well, because, everything from, my picture being in an ad or our, our social media presence that we have up there. So it's crazy to see all that they juggle, including, the Astros and the Texans and whatnot as well.
So they're all involved in that, and you have, and you open your doors to this community, which is very diverse.
Absolutely.
It's very diverse, and you can come and wear whatever you want to wear at the store. I always love that about that. I just go and blend, and people never say.
We've seen it all, I promise you. We have to draw the line somewhere, but we've seen it all.
So, but the first time I wore, everybody's wearing pajamas at the school. The kids wear pajamas at school, and so, the teenagers in our home have all the pajamas and stuff like that. And I said, you know what? I think this is the greatest idea since sliced bread, is that you can wear pajamas to go shopping in, and people go shopping in everything. But what's cool is that when the Astros are doing good, when somebody's doing good. You got a lot of Texan shirts or whatever, Rockets, and so everybody's wearing these big bulky. That usually dress so nice. They got these big bulky shirts. The Astros, there's no shame. You've got to support.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to support the Astros. So I'm really proud that you guys have, have
it's,
gotten that.
it's fun. It's and they're great partners. They've come out and visited stores. We have opportunities sometimes with Toro, the mascot from the Texans, and Orbit, the mascot from the Astros, and those they come out and help us out with some of those things as well.
Now they have to have plenty of those costumes so that you could have one of those that people think that's the person running around during the games, but you could have one at the opening. Could you have one of them?
So
if Altuve can't be there?
So Altuve can't be there. I'm telling you, I would rather him focus on winning the World Series than be a part of my grand opening.
Yes, true. That's true.
But yeah, we may have some surprises up our sleeve as far as what's going on grand opening day.
Okay. And you just won't budge. He will not break. I've been trying to get him talking and make him feel real good and say, so what is the secret thing that you've got going on that you can't tell me about?
So
no, it's okay.
We're full of surprises. We're full of surprises. So I'll tell you, from a standpoint of H.E.B, we will open up as an H.E.B with a bang. And
with a bang,
It's going to be exciting. We're going to, our public affairs team, our marketing team, down to our construction and design. It's the one thing I've learned in opening this process up is how many different facets of our business there are, and how we all come together in order to make one store open up.
Well, I'm trying to think of how many people live in and around Willis, and what is your capacity?
You know what? As many as I can get in the front door. I'm sure there's a number.
They come
out
and
there.
go.
I haven't looked at it, but I will tell you that we have a little under 112,000 square feet, and out of that size, I'll tell you a little under 100,000 of it is pure shopping space.
Oh,
so we
okay.
can fit a lot of folks in there.
Oh, that's good.
And
good.
we can get them in and out pretty quick.
So, you mean if you have people like y'all need to wait outside for just a little bit because we've got too many people in here.
So I've seen it happen before. We just recently went into the DFW Metroplex with a store in Frisco about a month ago, and they had so many folks show up and so many people that were anticipating that they had to do that. They had to meter who was in the building and how everyone's coming out. They were sending them in.
That's great.
I don't think we quite have the metropolitan area that they have.
No,
but I'd love to see it.
But I think they're going to be coming from way in Huntsville and way down to Woodlands. They're going to come see what you got.
Come and see us,
because they know there's going to be some good deals. Yep. That's what's exciting. There'll be good deals if every day is grand opening day with H.E.B, and so they're going to always have good deals, right?
Absolutely.
If you want to use that motto, it's fine.
Sir, every day is grand opening day.
That's right.
Got you.
If you act like that and greet customers like that, it'll be great.
That's my goal.
And we've been an hour. We've been talking an hour,
wow.
James.
Okay.
And so I'm going to sign off. This is Thursday, and so we know that this is not Thursday. This is Thursday, right?
It's Thursday.
Okay.
6 more days. I'm counting down, I promise.
Well, it's because I had to knock Ryan Gosling out of here. I'm really messed up with him. No, but anyway, this is our weekend. So I'm just telling everybody, have a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend. The weather is going to go crazy in a little bit, but it's okay. But Friday, everybody better be in front of that set and watching. I know you are, and that's a good time to go shopping. So listen, first responders, we love you. We love you so much. And what's great is that God loves you even more. So y'all have fun and call somebody you love. And thank you, James, so much for being here. It's my honor. Thank you so much. All right. See ya. Be good.